Why you keeping me waiting? And a big hello, everybody. Welcome along to another round of the Schumacker series of Global Racing League. And boy, oh boy, don't we have a championship that is absolutely on fire at the moment. It is alive in earnest. Rico currently out in front of the championship on 109 points, but V-Duck sitting there in second on 98. The Viking that was leading at one stage finds himself back there in third, and C-Sav's knocking on the door there of knocking him out of the top three. Cheeky Otter, Hickey Cat, Otens, DJ Millsy rounding out the top eight. Today we're at the circuit of Gilles Villeneuve, and Valhalla was just in the Global Racing League Discord chat with me and said that there's only a 16% chance of rain during qualifying and a 19% chance of rain during the race, which I find disappointing. The drivers will absolutely love. I love a wet race, particularly around this track that can be so, I mean, it's demanding in the dry, let alone in the wet. But it looks like it's going to be a dry race for us all, and be interesting to see how this one plays out. 4.3 kilometres in length is this circuit. Of course, it's a clockwise circuit. Predominantly right-hand turns here. Obviously, there are a few lefts as well, but obviously the right-hand side of the car gets absolutely punished. It's the home of the FIA Formula One Grand Prix, as well as the Sports Sedan Championship. They had a NASCAR Penny Series here as well. A couple of a Trans Am race, and the Rolex Sports Sedans all race at this track as well. Built on reclaimed land. This place. So I dare say mozzies might be a thing. If you're Canadian, bonjour. Good to have you along. Bienvenue. Hope you enjoyed today's coverage. It should be good. The lobby's taking a little bit of time to pop up, I note. Hopefully it's just me, but for some reason it hasn't jumped up yet. We're on standby for qualifying, 20-minute qualifying in GR Racing. Are we getting any messages from Mein Kampf? No, not yet, so that's a good sign. But this is taking an absolute month of Sundays to load up. Not sure what's going on. The interesting thing is, here's my sook for the day while we wait for this to come up. Here's my little sook for today. They've got new lampshades in F1 2022. Haven't fixed the sync problem, but they do have good new lampshades, so that's a good thing, right? Actually, I really enjoy the interior decorating of the houses. Don't know where I really use it, but I must admit I do enjoy it. My partner's into all of those design games, so no matter what I do there, she doesn't like it, but you expect that on the big gigs, don't you? I have not got my lobby up. I'm assuming, Valhalla, you're in the same boat. If you can hear me, just confirm, just so I know it's you guys aren't qualifying, and all I'm seeing is a load screen. I don't want to jump out in case it's just par for the course, but I'm just watching the Global Racing League chat, and nobody seems to be chatting at the moment, so that's generally a sign that something's not working the way it should be working. So I might, just for fun, try and re-enter the lobby and see if that'll help us out, because I've got a funny feeling that we may have an issue here. No, won't even let me do that. I tell you what, I'm going to send you back to the welcome screen until I can sort this one out. I think I might have to relaunch. Okay, they are qualifying, so I'm glad I jumped out and reset. Let's see where we are up to. V-Ducks with the fast lap of the race, the qualifying session so far, finds himself there in the top spot with a 110.42. Rico 110.76. A-Lock 111.01. Then you've got Orderman, who I think is new. It's a new name to me anyway. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you along. Noxie, who is not new. Well, he's relatively new, but he's one of the crew now. Hickey Cat. Then we go back to Cheeky Otter, DJ Millsy, Valhalla, who's stalking at the moment, is listening to what we're saying. You can jump in, Noxie. It's all good, brother. What's a nice chat between friends? Actually, I'll just bring up the restream chat too. Just so I can keep an eye on what's happening in the world. Who's jumping into the chat? Having a jibber with us today. Yeah. And then we'll get back to qualifying. Okay, now we have got the chat up, so we are good to go. Everything is now in order. So at the moment, A-Lock coming into the pits. He's bowing out for a few moments. We've got Cheeky Otter out on track. Trying to improve on a 111.43. DJ Millsy out on track as well. There's Valhalla making his way through Champions Corner. He's just about to clock up a time. Does he improve? Or is he just starting a flying lap? Let's bring up some telemetry for you, hey? We want tyres, telemetry, full map, fastest lap. That'll do us to get qualifying done. So Valhalla certainly has finished a flying lap because he's down to 22% ERS. V-Ducks on an out lap at the moment. So too Rico. These two guys battling out the championship. As I said, Rico just slightly in front of the championship standings. I think that sinker that we just saw go screaming past. Yeah, it is. Let's go on board with him. He's currently sitting in 10th spot with a 112.1. Back through the gears, runs a little bit wide, pulls it back to first gear, so he outbroke himself there. That'll cost him 2 or 3 tenths, I would suggest. Yeah, and he's bailing out of the lap. Let's go back and take a look at V-Ducks now. Very determined to take out this championship this year. Certainly driving in career best form, I would suggest to you too. This long straight to go, DRS open. Coming down towards the strike. Beautiful through there. Oh, just misses the wall too. Does he improve? He's got a 110.42. Let's go back on board with Rico, who's on a flying lap. He's got a slipstream as well. His teammate pulls out of the way. There was some team tactics going on there. The Viking gives him the slingshot. Does he get it? No. 110.54 at the moment for him. So still V-Ducks with the upper hand here at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Let's check out our new man on the block, Waterman. Assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. Through the final turns in 4th, so he's got some speed. Can he break into the 110s? He certainly does, 110.6, good lap. Up into the top 3, relegating A-Lock down to 4th, who's in the pits at the moment. Let's go back and see what Noxie can do. He's coming down towards the strike. And there's somebody just ahead of him, doesn't matter, they're going into the pits. Noxie. Through the final turn, 5th at the moment, 111.25. Does not improve. In fact, he might just be starting a hot lap now looking at his ERS. So we might stick with him for a little bit. He's got a 80-odd% in the tank. And he's actually sitting in the GR Discord chat at the moment. Just concentrate. Ignore me. I won't bag you too much. Too much. I shouldn't do that. He's purple in the first sector too. He's on an absolute flyer. Go, son. DRS now activated for him. Screaming down to the final chicane. Brakes at about 75 metres, turns it in, runs it right out, clips the wall. Didn't lose too much momentum, but unfortunately sits there in 5th spot, 110.992. Good lap though, dude. Shame about that wall. Don't worry, it's caught out plenty of great drivers in the past. That's why they call it the Wall of Champions, right? So Rico's not done with. He's now out on another lap. What's A-Lock doing? He's on a recharge? No, he's on a flyer. Celebrated his birthday last week. And would love to take a win here. It'll be the perfect present. He's sitting on the second row of the grid at this particular stage. Minute and 40 seconds left to go in this qualifying session. He's got a car up in front, warming up its tyres, gets out of the way nicely. Runs a little bit wide, has to bring it back to first gear, then gets a bit of oversteer on the exit. All of that's going to cost time. Down towards the final turn on the Wall of Champions. Runs it right out, beautifully done. Let's see what he gets. A 110.9, so doesn't improve. He was just 1/10 outside his fastest lap time. Let's go to Rico. Just starting a flying lap now. Hunting down pole position. V-Dux is on an out lap. Suggest V-Dux is coming down that final DRS straight. Just about to start a flyer. He should get there before the checkered flag, but this will be Rico's last go. DRS is open. Nothing come up as purple yet for him. Still looks like a very clean lap. It's good to see Rico Nosberg back in a Merc. Oh, gets it very tail happy on the exit. Manages to hold it together, but clocks a 110.53. Not good enough. Oh, actually it is. Oh no, look at that. He's 1/1000th outside his fastest time. So if he hadn't have had that issue in the final turn, he would have improved. We're on board with your provisional pole setter at the moment. He's done a purple second sector. Not happy with 110.4. Wants to go better. Bit of traffic to contend with. They get out of the way nicely. GG to them. Beautifully done through that final sector. 110.4 the time to beat. 110.3 does improve. Not by much. It's all part of the bragging rights, isn't it? Now, I think that's definitely everybody has crossed the line, because Otter, Millsy and Valhalla are down in pit lane, and everybody else has received the checkered flag. There he is, our pole sitter for the Canadian Grand Prix. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a wild race. This is going to be wild, people. So there is confirmation of the details on your screen at the moment. V-Dux taking pole over Rico Nosberg. Alderman, we've got Hickey Cat, A-Lock, Noxie, Cheeky Otter, DJ Millsy, Valhalla, Sinker, the Aussie, or that Aussie dude, and the Viking. Both of those guys not clocking up a time. Let's see who used tyres. V-Dux went through a ton. Rico went through a ton. Sinker and the Aussie dude, or the Viking and the Aussie dude only used one set, but they were just helping out their teammates more so than putting in flying laps. So, we are getting set. Canadian Grand Prix. Clear skies, no rain at the moment.
Looking cloudy.
It's cloudy, all right. I just want it to rain. I just want it to rain. That was the voice of Valhalla you heard in the background. He's shy. Get your strategy organised. That's what the drivers are doing at the moment, selecting their strategy, their fuel load. They can adjust some things in the car, but parc ferme conditions are still active. Of course, tyres are free this year, so you can start pretty much on whatever you like. We are getting set. One light. There goes the greens off on the warm-up lap. There's the predicted strategies on your screen at the moment. I can assure you it's a pretty graphic, but it doesn't give you much of an indication on what the drivers will be planning. Off at the moment, desperately trying to generate temperature in their tyres. I'm going to bring up some telemetry. We'll go for tyre wear and we'll keep it on interval. There we go. Oh, okay. So everyone's starting on hards except for Hickey Cat, who's elected to go with mediums here. I mean, it's horses for courses. And hey, look, I give Hickey Cat 110% for going on an alternate strategy. Why not? Roll the dice. See if you can make it play out differently. The hards around here are very, very good tyre. They last an incredibly long time, and the drop-off on them is so gradual that as a driver you're able to compensate each lap. You get to feel the grip rather than them all of a sudden come into a corner and find, uh-oh, don't have the grip that I had previous time around. But I always feel that, particularly nowadays, the way this game's shaped up, that the default strategy, even though it's mediums hards when you get into the cockpit, I still feel the preferred strategy for me is hards and then on to whatever. Get rid of the hard tyres first, because they're the most, what do they say, like when you've got a whole heap of tasks to do the hard task first, then all the rest of the tasks become easier. Certainly with safety car. Oh, problems for Vidux. He is spun in the final turn. He has looped it round. Why can't we get a better camera angle of that? He's waiting for everyone to go past, which is the right thing to do. Just two more cars. Here comes the Viking. The Vikings let him go. He's a gentleman and a scholar. And now Vidux is desperately trying to get some temperature into these tyres. Not the start he wanted for this one, but finds himself on pole and he's pointed directly at Rico Nosberg. So there is the tail. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, revs absolutely on the limiter, and lights go out. Good start by the front row. Great start by Alderman too. Slides straight into third spot, then Hickey Cat right behind. Rico trying to go around the outside of Vidux in turn 1. Won't work, and I think he's left the door open. Yes, he has. Alderman and he are going side by side at the moment as well. Let's go back and see those two guys. There they are now. Rico Nosberg has been able to pick up that spot and relegate the Alpha back one. Then we go back to Hickey Cat in 4th, A-Lock in 5th, Noxie in 6th spot. He's got the second of the Ferraris of Cheeky Otter on his tail. DJ Millsy further back through the pack. And the Viking already making moves. He's looking down the inside of Valhalla, and Valhalla running wide there. Relinquishes that spot to the Viking just so the stewards don't get upset. And out in front, Vidux on this first lap, trying to pull away. He's got a 0.6 second gap as they make their way down towards the final chicane. He turns it in. Oh, keeps it off the wall, but used plenty of that track. Just going to sit here and watch that angle. Wow. As expected, Viaduct's clocking up the fastest lap, and already first, second, third, and fourth have pulled out a little bit of a gap over A-Lock back there in fifth spot. On board with the A-Lock at the moment, or momentarily anyway. He's under pressure from Noxie. Then we go back to Cheeky Otter in the second of the Ferraris. Gets a little bit tail happy. Then back to DJ Millsy as he tries to work his way forward. After the start, Sinker, our sole McLaren driver, under a bit of pressure at the moment from the Viking, who's got a nice run out of that right-hander. Is right up into the slipstream at the moment, and as always with the Viking, he's got the ERS fully open, looks to the inside, and is going to get that overtaking manoeuvre done nicely. Out in front though, Viaduct's not able to shake off Rico. These two for the last couple of Sunday races have been giving each other absolute hell. A couple of rounds back, Rico had some issues and retired from the race, but ever since then, there's been a big crash behind too. It's the new man, Aneman. He's gone out in no small way now. Is this going to bring out the safety car? Safety car's coming down pit lane at the moment and is going to enter the track. So safety car on lap 3. That was a big hit. Just got it loose on the exit of that second chicane. Very easy to do too. And put it straight into the wall, and I'd suggest has ripped off one of the wheels of the car. A-Lock's brother in chat. This is a league race, Finney. It is absolutely a league race. Global Racing League. At the moment, we're under safety car conditions for at least another couple of laps. Viaduct's coming around to pick up the safety car, which is just up the road from where he is at the moment. Safety car starts its roll. That'll give Rico Nosberg a chance to close back up. So too Hickey Cat, A-Lock. Sean is up into fourth. Hope he has better luck this week. Was a bit unlucky last Sunday, I felt. Was driving a really good race. Noxie there in fifth. Then Cheeky Otter. DJ Millsy, the Viking, up to eighth already on those hard tyres. Then Sinker, the Aussie dude, and Valhalla in 11th spot. Needs to find one more to pick up a couple of points. I really had to crash. I'm assuming that's Orderman that's in the chat at the moment. Mate, it's easy to do there. We've all done it. We've all done it. Let he who hasn't done it throw the first stone. We've all been there, brother. We've all been there. But the safety car making its way around the track at the moment. Drivers with these hard tyres on, particularly here in Canada on a overcast day, will be working really hard to try and keep the temperature in the tyres, which you're not really going to do on the hards, but the more heat you can have, the better your chances over your opposition. You see Viaduct's taking some very wide lines and trying to understeer the front of the car to generate some heat. Of course, no traction assists in this class of racing, so you can stand on the accelerator and torch up those rears. 11 cars left in the race, 35 laps in total. One-stop strategies are the smart play, but you can do more around here. Hickey Cat on those mediums has worked his way forward very well. He's up into third spot at the moment, and this safety car, he'd be giggling at that because it'll increase his range for those mediums and potentially give him a shot at Rico and Vidux. A-Lock sitting behind him. He's on hards. Safety car is coming in this lap. Lights go off on the safety car. Pretty much everyone in the field has recharged their ERS, so stand by for the squirts. You can see weaving from side to side, getting that last little bit of temperature in. Vidux and Rico really working their cars. And of course Vidux has the control of the start of the race, and he's gone. He's going for it, gets a little bit loose on exit, and Rico Nosberg can see it, keeps the juice in, and they're going to go side by side into turn one. Rosberg on the outside, or Nosberg on the outside, holds the line too. He's going to put Vidux back into second. He's done that with inimitable style, and a new race leader after the restart. Rico Nosberg leads over Vidux. Hickey Cat, 3-second time penalty for Valhalla for multiple warnings of track limits. Naughty boy. He's in the Global Racing League Discord chat at the moment, and I know he's listening to me be laughing. Not laughing at the penalty, but laughing at the way I'm bagging him out. Now, what can Rico do? Can he pull away these two rivals?
Millsy spun.
Millsy spun. Let's go back and see Millsy. Where is he? Okay. He's on. Okay. Oh, gee. He's way back, wasn't he? So he's got plenty of work to do now. 6.5 seconds behind Valhalla. And I'm suggesting Valhalla probably had a bird's eye view of that. Vidux not happy with second. You can see he's closed right in, and they're just starting to bridge a little bit of a gap over Hickey Cat right now. Great little battle between Noxie and A-Lock as well. They're nose to tail. No DRS opened at the moment. With the safety car coming out, that gets neutralised. Have to wait for 3 laps to bring it back in, but what have we got? We've got basically the top 6 as a DRS train. If it was to come back online now. So let's go back to see the Viking as he closes in behind Cheeky Otter. Gets it a little bit loose on the exit of the left-hander as he tries to bring the power down. Onto the back straight. He's pulled out a bit of a gap over Sinker, so once the DRS is engaged, he's not going to have to worry about defending from the McLaren at this stage. That Williams is quick. He might overtake when DRS is enabled. Yeah. Well, see, he's very calculative, our Vidux. He's got a fair amount of experience in league racing, so you never know what he's going to do. Finny, to be 100% with you, he can be very calculative. At the moment, he's got 76%, plays 92 for Rico. So Rico is leading this quite comfortably, you'd have to say. A little bit less for Hickey Cat. He's down to 51. Now these two are playing games, trying to break as DRS is now enabled. The Williams can't get past, but he's got another opportunity just down the road. 3 DRS zones at this track, and a big lock up from Rico. That puts Vidux down the inside. They're going to go side by side. Rico Nosberg closing the door, tries to break the slipstream, but he's up against DRS, ERS, and a bad exit. Calculations don't look good. Vidux not launching, not sending it. He's happy to sit back. Rico's chewed a bit of his ERS, so they're about equal now. on the ERS stakes, and Hickey Cat sitting back with a bird's eye view of what's going on. Have a look at the yellow on the top of that Ferrari, that new livery for the 75-year anniversary. Have a close look at it in your game. It's not symmetrical. I know. Why am I worried about stupid stuff like that? Well, it's true. It's not symmetrical. Cheeky Otter under a bit of pressure too from A-Lock at the moment, who has been overtaken by Cheeky Otter. However, he's not letting him get away. Let's go back to the pointy end of the field. I try and bring you as much of the mid-pack action as I can, but we've got a great dice up front here too, so it's hard to know where to look. And these three have pulled away from Noxie, who's now 1.6 seconds behind. Now, Noxie might be in some trouble here because Cheeky Otter's got DRS on him and is juicing at the moment, but it's almost out of juice. Doesn't matter. He gets the overtaking manoeuvre done. He moves up into fourth spot. No change at the front of the pack. 10 laps down. Cheeky Otter, fastest lap, 1:13.92. Well done to the Otter. Not a bad time on hard tyres and full fuel. Well, not quite full. It's 10 laps down, but still a lot of weight. They still handle like a block of flats. Thank you, Finny. I appreciate that. I might see if I can't do it for a living at some stage. See how I go. You never know. I'm being cheeky, Finny. Don't worry. Don't mind me. Thank you. I appreciate the comment. Let's see what can happen now. The Viking, 3-second penalty for being a naughty boy. I'd expect more from the Viking. I'm just hassling him out. Where is he? He's managed to get past A-Lock. A-Lock's going to stay with him. Will he have a go back now that he's got DRS? No, because the Viking has got DRS. So he overtook at the most opportune moment. It's on. It's on at the front of the pack. One can dream. Ooh, had to think about diving down the inside into turn one. It was not going to end well if he had, because Rico Nosberg was going to slam that door. And they're starting to pull away from Cheeky Otter now, who's fallen out of DRS range. Potentially those mediums starting to go off a little bit, and the hards starting to come into their own, being 11 laps down, but 8 laps under acceleration because of the safety car coming out, or around about that. Yeah, Hickey Cat falling off the pace, and I wonder if he had a... let's check the front. No, it doesn't look like he's tagged anything. But Noxie getting very, very close to the back of him right now. And he will get DRS, and the Ferrari doesn't. So he's lambs to the slaughter. And these two chess players up in front are playing games. They're still pretty equal on their ERS. Let's go back to the battle for third. Noxie flashing, so he's used a ton of ERS to catch up. And let's go back to the second of the Ferraris. It's got 17%. Boy, these guys don't like saving their ERS, do they? They're prepared to use it. The guys up front are being a little bit more conniving or cunning. Sometimes those two are pretty much the same scenario. I don't know if you're old enough, Middles, to know, but I did actually do some motorsport commentary with Murray Walker. Not Crofty, but his predecessor. Oh, here goes the Ferrari. Under pressure. Under pressure. Noxie launching it to him. He's in a beautiful spot at the moment. DRS opens up on the rear wing. Right in the slipstream. Getting plenty of beautiful running and goes straight to the inside. He's going to get that move done easily by the time they get to that final chicane. So he goes up into third spot. Great overtaking manoeuvre. Up front, though, it's 3 seconds between second and third at the moment. And still Vidux can't find a way past. Let's join him on board for a little bit. Oh, hang on. I better go back and take a look because Sinker and the Aussie dude are having a little bit of shenanigans. It looks like the Aussie dude has got round him. Oh, problems there for Vidux. Got a snap of oversteer, and look at the time just melt away on his delta. It's out to 0.85 now. And once again, a little bit circumspect down into that tight right-hander. It's out to nearly a second now, 0.95. And you can guarantee Rico, no, he's not juicing. I thought he would have tried to just use as much juice as he could to break the slipstream and potentially DRS, but no, he's being a very patient player. And that's allowing Noxie to close this gap. He's now 2.6 off that race lead. We have a further battle back in the pack. Sinker has had his controller disconnect. So where is he? He's down in 11th at the moment. So I don't know if he's on AI or... No, he's not. It looks like he's had a few issues. Yeah, he's struggling to get control of that car. So he's obviously got it reconnected, but only just by the looks of things. Back to the front of the pack. Vidux once again working on the back of Rico. Cheeky Otter and the Hickey Cat, the two Ferraris. Well, Hickey Cat's on medium, so potentially these two might work with each other. Now Vidux goes for a run. I just wonder there. Yeah, I reckon Rico Nosberg's gone 30. I reckon he's let him past. He didn't fight that very hard, did he? So once again, the 300 kilometre an hour game of chess is well underway. Then we go back to A-Lock in third, Cheeky Otter fourth, fifth for Hickey Cat, then the Viking up into sixth, A-Lock, the Aussie dude, Valhalla, and DJ Millsy, who's bridging that gap to Valhalla now. It's at 3 seconds at the moment. So now Vidux out in front, and he's saving. What have we got? 2.3 to Noxie, so the gap is reducing a little bit. Particularly while these guys play games, they're allowing him to come into the battle. But with 15 laps or 14 laps on these tyres, about to make it 15, we shouldn't be that far off drivers potentially pitting. Certainly the Hickey Cat would be one of the first to go in because he's on those mediums. Just depends which lap he's going to do it. And of course this year the tyres are way, way cooler than they've ever been in this game. So when you come out onto the track, you have to work for it, brother. And it is difficult. The undercut was always a very big thing in this game, and that has been more or less nullified by the fact that now when you come out, you're on these tyres. But once you get them up to temperature, you can make some serious inroads. Now, the Hickey Cat did pit, so he's out there on a brand spanking set of new hards that he'll try and take to the end. Can't remember, it's been a while since I've raced here at Gilles Villeneuve, so I can't remember how many laps you can get out of these safely. There's
About 20.
About 20, says Valhalla. You're supposed to be driving a car, dude. Concentrate on your job. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. About 20. So that'll be spot on the money for the Hickey Cat. Rico closing up, and the cheeky Otter is up, and the Viking has got past him. Both on 16-lap-old hards. The Viking, a fast pilot. I don't think the Viking's ever done 16 laps on a tyre. He likes to pit 8, 9, 10 times per race. I'm sure that'll happen in the not-too-distant future. Watching our race leader at the moment, just waiting to see who's going to be the first to blink out of these two.
Millsy's about to pass me.
DJ Millsy's fighting his way back. That's not confidence you want to hear from a driver. Millsy's about to pass me. Turn in, turn in. He's still a fair way off, but he has got DRS now. Oh, and that'll be a big issue, because Valhalla got it very, very loose on the exit, and it's going to be an easy pass. He didn't get DRS either, DJ Millsy, so he's used his ERS to make that happen. He moves forward one spot, up into 8th after that spin after the safety car. We've also got Cheeky Otter sticking with the Viking, so the Viking hasn't been able to pull away. Neither of these guys have been in for their pit stops yet. Probably about another lap or two off those two guys blinking. And who's going to take the plunge first? Potentially you could, if you were Rico, you could potentially dive in after Vidux commits to the final turn. Run it, you'd have 1 or 2 lap older tyres by the end of the race, but you might be able to gain an advantage. No, just follows him through again. Noxie back there in 3rd, then the Viking, Cheeky Otter, A-Lock. So they're starting to spread themselves out a little bit now. Valhalla is sticking with DJ Millsy, and the Hickey Cat, who's gone for the alternate strategy, is 3.9 seconds down in 10th, but is closing. Back at the pointy end. You're going to admit that Williams does look good in that livery, doesn't it? Just trying to see if, yeah, they're all pretty much spread out. The closest two are Valhalla and DJ Millsy at the moment. And Valhalla, very, very borderline with regard to dropping out of DRS range there. Manages to pick up 2 tenths somewhere, 3 tenths now. So he's back in there with a fighting chance. Still, our front runners stay out, clocking up lap 20. Noxie 3.2 off, doing a great job. Just holding sway at the moment. A-Lock gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. So Cheeky Otter comes in. He takes the mediums. A-Lock comes in with that 5-second penalty. He gets the mediums. We've got, who else came in? There was one other. DJ Millsy came in 10th spot. He goes out on the mediums as well. So they'll be watching the front runners at the moment. Well, the front runners will be watching the medium runners to see what sort of time they can produce. They'll be looking for those fastest lap indications to come up on their screen. Oh yeah, Finny. There's no doubt, absolutely no doubt that Vidux knows how to steer. There's no doubt. And Rico, this is what makes this such a great, oh, here we go. Both of them come into the pits now. They both getting clean, they do. So the pit stop drag is on. They'll both swap across to mediums. and the Williams just gets out in front. But they're not going to be situated too badly. You've got Noxie out there as our race leader now, with the Viking in second, and they're on those 20-lap-old hards. Now there's a big dice going on. Rico Nosberg needs to get past that Aston Martin of the Aussie dude, who slides it in a four-wheel drift through that corner as he tried to take the battle on dead tyres up to potentially our second spot. Now we've also got the Hickey Cat in pit lane. Valhalla has pitted as well. So it's only Noxie and the Viking out in front, first and second, that are yet to pit. I dare say they'll be blinking this lap. Valhalla back in...
just overcut Millsy.
You overcut... Yeah, I was going to say Valhalla back in front of DJ Millsy, but Millsy close to him as they go for pit stops. So Noxie comes in, the Viking stays out. Let's watch this battle for 9th and 8th spot. He's right in the perfect spot, 32% on the ERS. DRS open. Valhalla goes defensive, but nothing he can do about it. Millsy will also have DRS down this straight, but I tell you what, that's a good run by Valhalla. Got a great run out of there. Millsy, fastest lap of the race, 1:13.552. I dare say Valhalla's time wouldn't be too far off that either. V-Dux has broken the DRS to Rico Nosberg, who had to deal with the Aussie dude coming out of pit lane, so advantage V-Dux at the moment. Millsy has 2.5 seconds to the Aussie dude. Then there's another 8 seconds up the road to A-Lock, who is trying to close this gap on Cheeky Otter. The Viking still hasn't pitted. As I joke about, he quite often likes to go in and get soft tyres and put in real quick laps. He just loves overtaking, but I think he's going for the most amount of laps on one set of tyres here. Unless he's going to go hard softs, he's got to be getting close to the window here. Now, V-Dux 3.5 seconds behind, so this is going to be fascinating to see how this plays out. That does sound like a Viking-type strategy. Do exactly the opposite to everyone else and still make it work. 2.9, 2.8, so he's losing a ton of time. He's losing an absolute ton of time, but not sure he's within the soft range to get to the checkered flag. Hickey Cat, 1:12.43, fastest lap. And the Vikings also out of ERS as well. Let's see what he does. No, continues on. He's definitely going for a soft strategy. Definitely going for hard, soft strategy here. So, Hickey Cat's just gone in, and he's got soft tyres on, so the Viking won't be the only one on softs, but the Hickey Cat's got a 25-second time deficit to try and make up. So it's going to be a hard task unless a safety car comes out. V-Dux still holding off Rico, who's going, well, they're both going through a fair bit of ERS at the moment too, these two. V-Dux trying to get into, now he's in DRS range of the Viking. So he's sitting in the perfect spot now to give himself a little bit of a launch. Let's keep an eye on what V-Dux does here. Rico 1.3 behind. So it's DRS for V-Dux. Viking continues on, but he's got to be swallowed up by V-Dux here, who's right in his slipstream. thinks about a look to the inside. He needs to get past because Rico's closing in. Now down to 1.1. Now down to 1 second. Bang, he's back in DRS range. And you can see Viduc's swerving all over the track, trying to say to the Viking, get out of the way. I'm so much quicker. Looks to the inside. Will get a track limit penalty, or no, track limit penalty. We'll get a track limit notification for that because he definitely run wide there, but he got the overtaking manoeuvre done. He had to do it. He had to do it. But now Rico Nosberg is sitting in absolute plum seat. He's up behind his teammate, who's going to just step to one side as the Aussie dude does get one of those penalties I was talking about. 3 seconds for track limitations. Now the Viking, well, this is interesting. The Viking has let him past, and now they're absolutely nose to tail. The Viking goes into the pit, so team strategy coming into play there. I was looking away when the Viking let him pass, so the Viking goes to softs. Who would have thought? Where's he going to come out, though? That's the telling factor. He's going to come out behind A-Lock, and doesn't have a massive gap, but he does need to get those softs up to temperature. They'll come up pretty quick for him, though. Won't take a massive amount of time. And now the Delta's sort of dragged itself out a bit. Not up front, though. 9 laps left to go in this one. We're nose to tail at the pointy end of the field. 109 points for Rico Nosberg in the Schumacher series. Over Viduc's on 98. So plenty to play for here. Then we go back to the Viking, CSAVs, Cheeky Otter, Hickey Cat, Otens and DJ Millsy rounding out the top 8 in the championship. Let's just check on the ER. Yeah, they're both still using a fair bit. I think at the moment, Rico Nosberg is just sitting back and starting to employ the recharge tactics. He's up to 24, plays 20. I think Vidux is awake to that now, so he's backed off on his ERS as well. And look at that, 64% for Noxie at the moment. So he's got a ton more than anyone else, but unfortunately, track position-wise, he's 7 seconds further down the field. But he has a good gap back to this car of Cheeky Otter, who's got a 2.6 second gap over A-Lock. The Viking trying to use those softs to their maximum now, 4.2 seconds behind. So Vidux has used a little bit of ERS, and Rico has saved since the last time we've checked. Vidux on 14%, Rico on 25%, and is in conservation mode. Getting dangerously close to that 10% mark for Vidux.
Aussie dude spun.
The Aussie dude spun back there in 9th. Good having spotters out there in cars. I like this. He's got it back on track. Valhalla has picked up 8th. 30% plays 21. Rico over Vidux. So they are both saving at the moment for this final onslaught. And Hickey Cat on the start-finish straight at the moment. Not looking like he's going to be lapped. And you never know, a safety car could come out at any stage. Now, I just noticed that red light of Vidux on the back of his car flashing, indicating that he's in... he's definitely in conservation mode, Rico Nosberg, at the moment, up to 33%. So Vidux is a bit like a lamb to the slaughter at the moment. What's he going to do? He needs to be cunning about this. Rico, thanks to DRS, is able to just sit there and save. And Vidux is the one who's having to spend. Not sure the Viking is going to make up too many spots here on those softs. 3 laps into it, and he's 2.3 seconds behind A-Lock on those 9-lap-old mediums. Won't be too long before those softs will be starting to scream a little bit. Now Vidux is, while he was trying to save, he's using a bit now to try and fend off Rico, who's now up to 40% ERS. You can see what's about to happen here, can't you? He's sitting back, biding his time, 7.6 second gap over third to Noxie, so they can afford to battle a little bit. And Rico Nosberg with the upper hand at the moment in the ERS department. Not much Vidux can do. He might have been smarter to just relinquish the lead and do a little bit of charging himself. Reverse the roles, as it were. Oh, Rico gets a big snap of oversteer, though, and almost falls out of DRS range, so he's going to have to use some of that ERS to stay within check. Now, the Viking has managed to close that gap down to A-Lock. He's now within DRS range. Let's see what he can do. We'll just move away from that battle for first for the momentarily. The Viking just making a mistake there. It's lost a mountain of time. 1.5 seconds he's dropped off. Hickey Cat's gone in for a brand new set of softs back there in 9th spot. That gives Valhalla some breathing space. Now the Vikings been able to close back up on A-Lock pretty quickly. Didn't get DRS this time around, but shaping up nonetheless. Got 24% ERS. Oh, the front runners have gone in for softs as well. Look at this, they've all dived in for softs. They all want the fastest lap. So Vidux comes out. He's now got 60% ERS, 68 for Rico. Then we've got A-Lock on those mediums. Then the Viking closing in on A-Lock. But those tyres of the Vikings have done 5 laps with this safety car out. Knew there'd be a safety car eventually. And A-Lock electing to stay out on those mediums. The Aussie dude had another spin, and this time that spin was terminal. So the safety car will do, well, it could even do 3 laps unless Hickey Cat's able to close up quickly, which I doubt. We have to have, as part of the coding of the game, we have to have a minimum of 2 laps racing, but if there's only 2 laps, there won't be any DRS. So Vidux will be happy about that. Might just be his saving grace, in fact. But A-Lock is in all sorts of trouble. He's on 11-lap-old mediums. He's got the Viking behind on 5-lap-old softs. Then everybody behind is on a brand new set of softs. So, this could get very, very interesting. It's going to be hard to know where to look here, to be honest with you. It's funny, the game has got, I've just noticed this, the game has got flag marshals standing behind concrete walls waving the flags where you can't see them. if you're a driver. Mind you, they have had quite a few rule changes in Formula One in IRL because of the death of a flag marshal at Melbourne. And it was the son of the man who this circuit is named after, Jacques Villeneuve, that was unfortunately involved in that. Not his fault. His car just had an issue and bounced off the wall, and it was just one of those things where they upgraded the safety fences so that the flag marshals could put the flag through the fence but would be protected, which was a great safety upgrade. I mean, flag marshals in the real world don't get paid for that. They're volunteers. They basically get a lunch, a can of drink, and a pretty good seat to watch Formula One, it's got to be said. I did flag marshal once just for the experience at a truck racing event. I've never been so. I was doing yellow flag, which means I had my back to the trucks coming at me, looking down the circuit to see if there was another truck that had an issue, and you can hear them coming, and you know that they're literally feet away from you. They weigh a fair bit, those trucks. They can quite easily move a concrete wall back. I'm going to tell you, it was a pretty darn scary experience. Okay, let's see what happens now. Is the safety car going to come in? Let's recap while this goes on. V-Dux leads over Rico, then A-Lock, the Viking, Noxie, Cheeky Otter, DJ Millsy, Valhalla, and Hickey Cat, rounding out the 9 drivers that are left in the Canadian Grand Prix. Still a few more turns to go before we find out what the safety car is going to do. V-Dux and Rico are working desperately. A-Lock hasn't stopped weaving from side to side, trying to keep temperature into those tyres. He knows it's going to be vital. Safety car in this lap. So V-Dux taking a wide line there, slowing the field down so he doesn't get throttle lock by being too close to the safety car. Sits at around 100 kilometres an hour. He's doing a good job of that too. I always find it difficult to maintain a slow, steady speed in these cars. He's not allowed to drop below 80, I think, from memory. I should know that. So we're now in a sprint race. Look at these three. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. V-Dux holds them. Now he goes. ERS on. And I tell you what, A-Lock's got a pretty good start. He hasn't been slack. The Viking was caught napping. He's under pressure from Noxie at the moment, back there in 5th, as the rest of the field make their way through. The Viking under a bit of pressure from these brand new 3-lap-old softs. The Viking didn't pit. Surprised with that. The man can overtake. He's left himself very vulnerable now for some overtaking. And you can see he's just starting to slide across the track. Noxie's lining him up. No DRS. The Viking goes defensive. Noxie tries to go around the outside. Beautiful clean racing by both drivers. Oh, they've actually touched. And around goes Noxie. Falls back down into 8th spot at the moment, just in front of Valhalla. Up front, the battle on in earnest. Then in 3rd. Oh, big moves and pushed off track. Oh, and into the wall. Into the wall, the second of the Williams. A-Lock is out of this race. Got tagged going through the chicane. Not labelling blame, but was definitely tagged and went over the ripple strip, lost control. So it's on It is on in earnest. What can Rico do? 44% ERS plays 30. So Vidux, the roles have been reversed. He's got the upper hand with regard to the ERS this time round. Safety car saved his life. Potentially. Only a few more turns to go. And this will close the gap in the championship in points, if he can hold on. Rico, absolutely juicing like no tomorrow at the moment. You can see the red light. He is out of gas. So too Vidux. Down to the final turn they come through this section of the track. Rico, 3-second time penalty. It's all to no avail from him. Checkered flag is out. Vidux takes the victory. Rico back there in second spot with that penalty. Cheeky Otter found his way up into third. Great try. DJ Millsy, who spun earlier on, he finishes in fourth, but this is the man of the moment. Vidux takes the lead, I think, in the championship. Try and do the maths. 25 plays 18. So he will get no, he probably won't, but he won't be too far off it. There's three types of people in this world, those that can add and those that can't. DJ Millsy. Stupid spin, stupid penalty. Nice fight back though, brother. Nice fight back. Vidux in chat at the moment. Awesome job, dude. Awesome job. Williams take the victory. The champagne flies. Love the animation. Okay, let's go check some results for you. It was Vidux over Rico, then Otter, DJ Millsy, the Viking, Hickey Cat, Noxie, Valhalla, A-Lock, the Aussie dude on the DNF train with Sinker and Adaman as well. Now, for those who want to know about the incidents, I'll fly through these. So if you want to take anything to the stewards, you can have a copy of it. There you go. There you go. You can just pause it. And the pit stop strategies. Only 2 front wings in that race. Well done. Congratulations to Vidux. He worked hard for that one. The odds were against him at one stage, but he managed to fight back. Safety car helped out a little bit, but as they say in the classics, luck is preparedness meeting opportunity. And he took full advantage of that and keeps the Schumacker series alive. You want to catch more of the Schumacker series? Don't forget Thursday night at 9 o'clock on the east coast of Australia is the time to catch. They race twice a week. I do the Sunday nights. They also race on the Thursday nights. And if you want to join the Aussie Racing League, check them out on Facebook. Well worth jumping in there, and they've got links to their Discord and their website as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the race. Thank you, everybody, in voice chat. Valhalla, our Dick Johnson of today.
And thanks to you for commentating, mate. That was lovely to listen to while I was cruising along around the circuit. That was fun.
Next time I'll sing your favourite song or something for you so you can feel like you're out on a Sunday drive.
Yeah, you can be my favourite radio station.
Your favourite radio station in your favourite radio city. The city by the bay. The city that rocks. The city that never stops. Have a good one, everyone. We'll look forward to catching up with you next time. Bye for now.